Have you ever wondered what it really means to be thriving at 70? It's not about climbing Mount Everest or running a marathon, though hey, if you can, more power to you. No, winning at 70 often looks a lot more like handling a flight of stairs without gasping, remembering what you had for lunch yesterday, or laughing so hard your eyes tear up. In a world obsessed with youth and big accomplishments, we often forget that the true victories in later life are found in the everyday moments. They're in the little things, things that prove your body, your mind, and your spirit are still very much in the game. Today's video isn't about unrealistic goals or silver-haired superheroes. It's about the quiet strength that comes from independence, resilience, and joy in the simple. We're diving into 6 surprising habits and abilities that, if you still have them at 70, mean you're doing far better than you might think. These aren't just signs of aging well. They're evidence that you've built a life that honors your health, your memory, your emotional well-being, and your ability to stay connected. And believe me, those are not small feats. So before you brush off your accomplishments as just getting by, stick around. You may just realize you're not only surviving, you're thriving. And by the end of this video, you'll have 6 powerful reasons to celebrate exactly where you are today. Because let's face it, if you're 70 and still doing these things, you're not getting old. You're mastering life. Let's begin. 1. Climbing stairs without losing your breath. A quiet but powerful victory. Let's be honest, at 70, climbing a flight of stairs without feeling winded might not earn you a medal, but it absolutely deserves your respect. In fact, this everyday task is one of the clearest, most underrated signs that your body is still firing on all cylinders. Why? Because climbing stairs is a full-body effort. It calls on your heart, lungs, and muscles all at once. Think of it as a no-nonsense fitness test that's built right into daily life. No treadmill or gym membership required. Every time you tackle a set of stairs, you're quietly testing your cardiovascular endurance, lower body strength, and coordination. According to the American Heart Association, by the time most people reach their 70s, their aerobic capacity may have declined by as much as 40% from their younger years. That's a natural part of aging, but it's not inevitable. Staying active, especially through simple movements like stair climbing, can help you maintain a far stronger baseline than most of your peers. Picture this. You're visiting your grandkids and the elevator's out. Do you groan and wait downstairs, or do you say, "Let's do this," and march up like a champ? That moment says more about your vitality than a blood pressure reading ever could. In fact, a European study found that older adults who could climb 3 flights of stairs in under 90 seconds were significantly less likely to suffer heart issues over the next decade. So yes, those steps are doing more than just taking you to the next floor. They might be extending your life. Here's the thing. If you can still climb stairs without stopping every few steps to catch your breath, that's a huge indicator that your body is still strong, your heart is healthy, and your lungs are working efficiently. And perhaps even more importantly, it means you're still independent. You don't need to wait for help, and that freedom is priceless. So the next time you take the stairs, whether it's 1 flight or 4, don't dismiss it. That moment is your quiet victory lap. Because at 70, being able to move upward under your own power is one of the clearest signs that you're still very much on top of your game. 2. Remembering what you ate yesterday, a window into a healthy mind. It might sound like a small thing, remembering what you had for lunch yesterday. Maybe it was a turkey sandwich, a bowl of chili, or your favorite tuna salad with crackers. But here's the truth. Being able to recall even these everyday details is a quiet sign that your brain is still sharp, resilient, and aging gracefully. Memory doesn't always disappear overnight. It fades in tiny moments, names forgotten, appointments missed, or stories told twice. That's why remembering something as routine as a meal isn't just a casual party trick. It reflects the ongoing strength of your short-term memory, your focus, and your mental engagement with the world around you. According to the Alzheimer's Association, approximately 11% of adults over 65 experience some form of cognitive impairment. But the good news is, memory, just like muscle, responds to use. The more you engage it, the more it stays active and ready. So how do you give your brain that daily workout? It can be as simple as reflecting on your day, having conversations with others, or even keeping a short food journal. When you remember not only what you ate, but who you shared it with or a funny story from the meal, that's a whole network of neurons firing and connecting. That's mental fitness in action. Let's imagine this. Your grandchild casually asks, "Grandpa, what did you eat yesterday?" And without missing a beat, you say, "Oh, I made spaghetti with meatballs and had a slice of apple pie." Not bad for a Tuesday, huh? That response does more than share information. It builds connection, invites conversation, and affirms that your mind is alive and engaged. Of course, nutrition plays a role here too. A diet rich in leafy greens, berries, nuts, and omega-3s can support brain health. So can puzzles, books, or chatting with a friend over coffee. These aren't just habits. They're your brain's version of daily stretching and strengthening. So don't overlook that small win. If you can still recall what you had for lunch yesterday, and maybe even remember how it made you feel, you're doing more than just remembering a meal. You're keeping your mind in motion, one bite-sized memory at a time, and that truly is a sign of winning. 3. Balancing on one leg for 10 seconds. A small test with big meaning. Try this right now. Stand up, lift one foot slightly off the ground, and count to 10. No wobbling, no grabbing the wall. If you can hold your balance for the full 10 seconds, congratulations. You just passed one of the most surprising health indicators for older adults. It might sound silly, but this simple test reveals a lot more than it seems. According to a study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, people in their 70s who could stand on one leg for 10 seconds were significantly less likely to face serious health complications in the years ahead. It's not magic, it's science. Balance reflects your body's coordination, strength, and even neurological health. You see, good balance isn't just about looking graceful. It involves your muscles, your joints, your brain, and your reflexes all working in harmony. And when one of those systems starts to slip, your balance is often the first to show it. That's why a decline in balance is often linked to higher fall risk. And falls are one of the leading causes of injury among older adults in the US. But here's the empowering part. Balance is trainable. You can improve it. Gentle exercises like Tai Chi, yoga, or even standing on one foot while brushing your teeth can help you build strength and awareness without needing any fancy equipment. Picture this. You're at the park with your grandkids, and while they hop around on one foot, you join in, just for fun, and you're holding your own, laughing, steady as a rock. That moment isn't just playful, it's powerful. It says your body is still tuned in, your reflexes are sharp, and you're actively reducing your risk of injury. So if you can still balance like a flamingo without tipping over, take pride. It means your core is engaged, your legs are strong, and your mind-body connection is intact. That 10-second window, it's more than a fitness trick. It's a glimpse into your long-term resilience. Don't underestimate the power of stillness. In those 10 focused seconds, you're not just standing, you're standing strong against time, and that's worth celebrating. 4. Still able to laugh out loud. A sign of emotional strength. If you can still laugh until your belly shakes and tears well up in your eyes, you're doing something far more powerful than you might realize. A deep, genuine laugh is more than just a reaction. It's a signal that your emotional core is alive and thriving. As we age, life doesn't always get easier. We lose people, face health challenges, and adapt to a world that seems to change faster than we do. Yet amid all of that, the ability to laugh, really laugh, is a testament to your resilience. It means you're still finding joy, still able to connect, and still choosing to see light even when the world gets a little heavy. According to research from Stanford University, laughter isn't just good for your mood. It can actually reduce stress hormones, strengthen your immune response, and increase your tolerance for pain. Think of it as your body's built-in healing mechanism. A good laugh floods your system with feel-good chemicals like endorphins and oxytocin, helping your body and mind stay balanced and strong. And it doesn't have to come from something big. Maybe it's your favorite classic sitcom rerun, a shared memory with an old friend, or just laughing at yourself when you forget why you walked into the kitchen. Humor in daily life is one of the most underrated medicines we have, and it's completely free. I once knew a woman in her 80s who could tell a joke better than any stand-up comic. She'd make a room full of people laugh so hard they'd forget about their aches and pains for a while. Her secret? She never took herself too seriously. And that right there, that humility, that joy, is what keeps the spirit young. So if you're still chuckling at corny puns, still able to crack a joke at your own expense, or still sending memes to your friends, don't underestimate it. In a world that can sometimes feel heavy, laughter is your proof that your heart is light. And at 70 or beyond, if you can still laugh freely and often, then yes, you're absolutely winning at life. Keep laughing. It's one of the most beautiful sounds you'll ever make. 5. Maintaining social connections. The heartbeat of a meaningful life. In a world where everything moves fast and people often drift apart, maintaining strong social ties in your 70s is more than heartwarming. It's life-affirming. At this age, connection is no longer about networking or socializing for the sake of appearances. It's about meaningful bonds, shared stories, and being seen and heard by those who matter most. Loneliness is a silent epidemic among older adults. According to the National Institute on Aging, nearly 1 in 3 Americans over 70 experiences significant social isolation. But if you're someone who still picks up the phone to check on a friend, attends a book club, or chats with neighbors during a morning walk, you're doing more for your health than you might realize. Strong social connections have been linked to longer lifespans, lower rates of depression, and even better immune function. In fact, a Harvard study that spanned over 75 years found that close relationships, more than money or fame, are what keep people happy and healthy throughout their lives. Think of it this way. Every conversation, every shared laugh, every moment of vulnerability with someone you trust, it all acts like nourishment for your emotional and mental well-being. Social interaction stimulates your brain, reduces stress hormones, and reminds you that you belong, and you don't have to be the life of the party to reap the benefits. Even quiet connections matter. A weekly coffee date, a video call with your grandkids, or a short walk with a neighbor can provide emotional warmth and mental stimulation that no pill ever could. Take inspiration from Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's blue zones, where older adults live with vitality well into their 90s and beyond. One of their secrets? The Moai, a small group of lifelong friends who provide ongoing support, laughter, and companionship. So if you're still showing up for others, sending birthday cards, or simply being present in someone else's life, know this: you're enriching your own just as much. You're not only keeping loneliness at bay, you're embracing one of the deepest sources of strength there is: human connection. Because at the end of the day, the people you walk with through life are often what make the journey worth it. And if you still have that, you are most certainly winning. 6. Cooking for yourself. A delicious sign of independence. If you're still stepping into your kitchen, tying on an apron, and preparing your own meals at 70 or beyond, that's not just impressive, it's empowering. Cooking isn't simply about feeding yourself. It's a powerful expression of independence, self-care, and vitality. Think about what it takes to cook a meal. Standing for extended periods, using your hands to chop or stir, reading or remembering a recipe, and planning ingredients ahead of time. All of these actions require coordination, memory, and physical stamina. So yes, when you're preparing your own dinner, you're doing more than making food. You're exercising both your body and your mind. In fact, research from Sweden found that older adults who regularly cook their meals were 25% less likely to develop chronic illnesses like heart disease or diabetes. Why? Because cooking tends to lead to healthier choices. When you control what goes into your food, you naturally lean toward fresher ingredients, less sodium, and more balanced nutrition. But it's more than health stats. There's something deeply satisfying about creating a meal from scratch. The aroma of sautéed onions, the sizzle of a skillet, or the familiar rhythm of stirring a pot of soup. These are grounding, sensory experiences. They offer a kind of mindfulness, a chance to slow down and be fully present. And then there's the emotional layer. Maybe you're cooking a recipe handed down from your mother or recreating a dish you once shared with someone special. Food carries memory, tradition, and comfort. Even cooking for one can feel like a quiet celebration of life. I once met a retired teacher who still made homemade bread every Sunday. "It's not about the bread," she told me. "It's about knowing I still can." That simple act kept her feeling alive, capable, and rooted in routine. So if you're still in the kitchen, flipping pancakes, roasting veggies, or baking a pie, don't downplay it. You're not just feeding your body. You're honoring your independence, nurturing your spirit, and proving that age is no match for your ability to care for yourself. In a world where convenience often takes over, choosing to cook is a bold statement. I'm still here, and I'm still in charge. And that, without question, is a beautiful way to win at life. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on what these 6 simple abilities truly represent. Climbing stairs, remembering your lunch, balancing on one leg, laughing freely, maintaining friendships, and cooking your own meals, these aren't just habits. They're milestones of a life well lived, and signs that your strength, independence, and spirit are still going strong. Too often, aging is viewed through a lens of decline, but that's not the full picture. Aging is also about resilience, wisdom, and knowing how to find beauty in the everyday. It's about choosing connection over isolation, purpose over passivity, and joy over fear. If you're 70 or anywhere close, and you're still doing even a few of these things, you're winning. You're not just getting older, you're living with intention. You're proving that vitality doesn't have an expiration date and that a rich, fulfilling life can be built on the foundation of simple, meaningful actions. So what's next? Keep celebrating these quiet victories. Share them. Talk about them with your friends, your children, your community. Remind others and yourself that aging isn't something to dread, it's something to honor. And if you found value in this message, consider sharing this video with someone who might need the encouragement. Let's change the conversation around aging from one of limitation into one of empowerment. Because at the end of the day, if you're still climbing, still laughing, still loving, and yes, still cooking, then you're not just surviving, you're thriving. So keep going, keep shining, and never forget, you're not too old to be amazing. You're just getting better at it.